A Florida bill would make bloggers who write about governor register with the state. A proposed law in Florida would force bloggers who write about Governor Ron DeSantis and other elected officials to register with a state office and file monthly reports or face fines of $25 per day. The bill was filed by the Florida Senate by Senator Jason Brodeur, a Republican. If enacted, the proposed law would likely be challenged in court on grounds that it violates the First Amendment protections of the freedom of speech and the press. Defending his bill, Brodeur said, quote, "Paid bloggers are lobbyists who write instead of talk. They both are professional electioneers. If lobbyists have to register and report, why shouldn't paid bloggers?" End quote. The bill text defines bloggers as people who write for websites or web pages that are frequently updated with opinions, commentary, or business content. Websites run by newspapers or similar publications are excluded from the definition. The proposed registration requirements apply to bloggers who receive payment in exchange for writing about elected state officials, including the governor, the lieutenant governor, and cabinet officers, or any member of the legislature. Bloggers who write about a member of the legislature would have to register with the State Office of Legislative Services, while bloggers who write about the governor or other members of the executive branch would have to register with the Commission on Ethics. I very much imagine legislation like this was introduced in Berlin in 1939. It doesn't have a chance in the world to survive a Supreme Court challenge, even with the court makeup that we have. It's impossible to imagine this could survive. I'm very happy to say that Queer News Tonight apparently would be exempted from this new law. But I also think that there is a very thin line of what they're trying to suggest, that a blogger is a paid person for their words. Reporters are paid for their work. Exactly. There is absolutely no difference. Equal protection. There's all kinds of very difficult problems here. The bottom line to the issue that we're watching is this is an authoritarian, dare I say, even a fascist attempt to intimidate people to not speak against them. 100%. That's in a nutshell what we're watching. The one thing that I warn, I'm sure all of you are going to weigh in here, but the one thing that I warn is if there was even a chance of this passing, one day these days will pass, and there will be some Democrat in office that will be controlling the voice of all of those conservative wacko bloggers for the GOP and Newsmax and the friends of. This is really a terrible idea for American democracy.
Jason Brodeur is kissing some serious DeSantis ass, like serious, okay? Like remove your mouth from his ass, sir, okay? Let's start there, all right?
Or something else.
Oh, well, yeah, he might like that. I mean, okay, but here's my question for you, Al. So, okay, I was thinking you write for our website all the time, and you're saying that it doesn't include you. Would that affect our fellow anchor John Hayden, who writes for so many publications online as well?
Theoretically, the line that they're trying to draw, and Brodeur is trying to draw this line to say, wait, we're not after the press, we're after bloggers. The line is so thin, it is so amorphous, it's leaking like a sieve. He's not going to get away with it. But just like we're trying to have Don't Say Gay, they didn't call it that, but Don't Say Gay only for kindergarten through third grade, they're trying to provide a beachhead distinction is what he's doing here. Very poorly. It won't succeed. What they're after is those people. Francia creates a blog.
Exactly.
And Francia starts to talk, and he talks about the music industry and what DeSantis may be doing that affects Florida adversely, homophobia, and he starts to discuss it. And then the state says, wait, you're talking about us, so therefore you must register. Why should I have to register? Because we want to keep track of you now.
100%.
Yes.
This is 1953, and I'm Senator Joe McCarthy. Wow. I want to keep track of Francia. That's what's going on.
It reeks of repression and censorship, and what I'm concerned about is what exactly happens with these lists. You know,
there it is.
You said it, Frecuencia Francia. Once my name is on this list, what would happen with me, and how would I be tracked?
Yeah.
Forgive me to interrupt you, but what happens with these lists is they put a Star of David on my chest or a pink triangle on my arm. That's what they do with this list. That's where this potentially could lead. Sorry.
And how do you define blog? I mean, Facebook could be the next
Yes.
blog, because people are putting all their opinions there. So
Yeah.
it's just a way to silence the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
We won't be silenced.
We won't. And at the end of the day, one last thought before we move to Francia. The desire to tempt here is not to be successful. There's no desire to be successful. It is so in the extreme, it can't be successful. That's not what the goal is. The goal is like everything else. It's like DeSantis and Disney and Reedy Creek. We're threatening you. Surrender to us. Be fearful of what we're going to do to you. We'll tie you up in legal embracement, and we'll bankrupt you. We'll harm you. We will go after your reputation. And so therefore, you stop. That's what the goal here is. Intimidation. That's
100%.
and likely going to be successful.
The signaling is clear, but as Francesca said, we will not be silent.
We will not. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out television network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.